What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to the channel. I apologize for yesterday. We had some personal issues, some family issues at home, so we were shut down for the day. But I will promise to fill you in for everything from yesterday and today coming up now. What do we have? We've got Locatelli deals still happening. We've got Rovella and Fajoli preseason update. We got Berzali says no, and then we got new names. We have a lot more included in that. We'll run it all down for you right now. Ciao ragazzi, and welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. And before we do anything, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell notification so you can stay updated with all our news as soon as it drops immediately. So first off today, what do we have for you? We've got Locatelli news. We're talking about Locatelli, the situation there. We got the Arsenal information. We got a little bit of everything. So let's start off with that now. We got Fabrizio Romano is saying that Arsenal is really interested in Locatelli, but nothing is advanced because they know that Locatelli's priority is Juventus. The feeling is that Juventus are absolutely leading the race. We got a few. We got Romeo Gresti. We got a couple, so I'm going to read through those now. Romeo Gresti is saying that I'm convinced also because of the information I received that Locatelli's priority is Juventus. There's no feeling that it's changing, but in a market where there's not a lot of money, you need to be patient. He also followed up saying that next week a new meeting for Locatelli, where I think Juventus will speed things up, will occur. I think with common sense, they will find an agreement. Juve has clear ideas, and in the end, they will manage to take him. He is waiting for Juve. And then finally, Sport Italia is saying that Locatelli deal is just a matter of time. The deal will be worth around 40 million euros. The player has chosen Juventus. So everybody put your thoughts at ease. I know last video, if you haven't seen it, I went on a little bit of rant. Honestly, just being upset and annoyed with the whole Sassuolo situation and the way that they're playing this deal. It's kind of disgusting. It's kind of, it's not professional. But regardless, stay calm, stay sane. Locatelli deal will get done. He wants Juventus. Juventus want him. He is the crown jewel of the class, and he will be coming in this season. So that's good to hear. Following that up, we've got a little bit of news about Rovella and Fajoli, stating Tutto Sport is saying that the new season will kick off on July 14th at the Cantonassa. Both Rovella and Fajoli will be there. Allegri wants to watch them both up close before making a decision. So that'll be interesting for anybody who's extremely invested. I know there's a lot of those Juventinians that are extremely invested in Fajoli and what he can do going forward and wanting to have him part of the squad. That'll be something to keep an eye on, especially I know there were talks about the preseason, there being a lot of big names coming in, playing with the club and stuff like that, or that they'll be taking on. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that going forward. Also, if you're interested, I'm also interested in Rovella for sure. I want to see what he can do and see if he has a future here at Juventus. And then we've got a little bit of news about, Sergei Roberto saying that Sport Italia is reporting that Inter and Juventus would like to buy Sergei Roberto, with Inter having already contacted Barcelona. Sergei Roberto's contract with Barca expires June 2022 and could be a good market opportunity for both clubs. So if I go over here and I look at it and I'm pulling up Sergei's information, but what I've got here basically says, he is he's a right back, but he's more importantly, he's valued at about 18 million euros and he's born in 1992, 29 years old, a bit older. But the one thing we know is it seems like, especially in the defensive role, a lot of players, can play a little bit older. And what wouldn't hurt is obviously stealing a player from Inter that they were severely interested in. Is this who you prefer for to play right back for Juventus? Is there anybody else that you prefer over him? Let me know in the comments section down below. But in the meantime, we'll move on to our next story of the day that we have is also another name that this one we came up, I believe it was, maybe this was early on when I was doing this. I want to say maybe early June-ish was the last time we were hearing about him. And it's Saul Niguez. And I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong or if I'm butchering it. Basically, what we're saying is Marca is saying that Juventus remains interested in Saul Niguez. No offer has been made to date. Look at him. We've talked about him before. He's got a 40 million euro, what's it called? That's how much his budget, I don't know why I said budget, sorry. 40 million euro value is where he sets. He's at Atletico Madrid, a central midfielder, 26 years old, so right in that middle range for the player. The way I said, and the way there's also, there's the rumors. What if you want to take it rumors, whatever? But DiMarzio is usually pretty pretty upfront and pretty knowledgeable when it comes to these situations. Obviously, we know that. But he was saying that Juventus is really only taking one midfielder. So I'm not going to dive too much into this. Niguez is an option. Say if things were to fall apart with Locatelli or whatever's going on. But he's more of a back burner option is the way I view it. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe Juventus changes their mind. Maybe go for two. We'll see. But he is a central midfielder as well. And then we got a little bit of Ronaldo update saying that Romeo Agresti is saying that if Ronaldo leaves, Juventus would buy two strikers, one of a good level and a young center forward. If Ronaldo stays, it will only be one striker. That's the current strategy. So it's good to see that we know, if Juventus, I think the number that we have about here is about like 3 or 4 players maybe coming in, or maybe only 2 to 3. So we can put Locatelli in. We got him in that top tier. And then the second tier maybe be this, or I don't know if the striker role or maybe be like a defender that we're looking at, maybe a left back or right back or something like that. Well, actually, I think anyway. Regardless, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. Anyway, I know Scamacca is a name that came up. I know, Kyle Jorge is a name that came up. A few of those players, and I think we'll get to them today. I want to say, actually, let me go ahead and just skip ahead. That came up, I believe, actually today, saying that Juventus' interest in Kyle Jorge is real. He's followed by many top clubs in Europe. So this one's starting to become a little bit more popular. We've heard it once or twice. And anytime, something like that pops up, I'm a little bit not apprehensive, but I usually wait to dive too deep into it just because who knows how far that'll actually go. Who knows if you'll hear. Another name we've also heard is Gabriel Jesus, who, if you watched the match yesterday, was in Brazil and Peru, Chile, anyway, whoever it was. Unfortunately, we can't play the video here due to copyright, but my man delivered a mean, basically just a flying kick to the face to one of the other players for the other squad. I can't remember if it was Chile or whoever it was. But go check it out. It's hilarious. Unfortunately, he got a red card. Well, he should have gotten a red card for that, but he got a red card. I just thought it was entertaining to see. Hopefully he doesn't make a habit of that going forward. Anyway, we'll skip ahead. If there's a striker you like, want to hear, obviously a striker that I love in some ways can. Seems like that's not going to happen. Seems like he more and more will be returning to PSG. My hopes are that they don't end up buying him down the line, but it seems like at least he'll be on loan for another year. Anyway, going forward, we got Paulo Dybala news. Romeo Agresti, and this was yesterday, so we'll have yesterday and then today the news. But yesterday, Romeo Agresti is saying, I think Dybala will stay, but he must extend his contract. He wants to stay. Juve wants to keep him, and he has no offer from any other club. And then today, Tuttosport is saying that Dybala has decided to accept Juve's 10 million euro season offer. So that's the first I'm seeing of that. Hopefully they've worked it out. Hopefully he's decided to, be a team player, come back to the club, agree to that, maybe possibly with bonuses. I'm sure there's bonuses thrown in there. But I'll be happy. And, going forward, it seemed like he was going to be the man for the, I would say Romeo Agresti, Allegri, going forward. So, I'd like to see what he can do this coming season, especially if he can remain healthy. Also, a man who's down in Miami here in America, hanging out with Paul Pogba. So maybe he's putting in some feelers. Maybe he's trying to do a little bit of recruiting. We'll see. Maybe wait a year and see where we are next summer. If he ends up, the rumors heat up that he's coming back. Then we got a little bit of updates from Romeo Agresti regarding Dybala and his situation, saying that Roma thought about taking Dybala. They offered players, but Juve said no. And as we know, when it comes to Dybala, they want 40 to 45 million euros. 40 million being like the minimum is really what they want to take for him, and they don't want to do players in a swap. Unfortunately, I kind of there's some players, obviously, that play for Roma that I would love to see come to Juventus. Maybe not. Okay, there's one player I'd love to see come to Juventus. We know Zaniolo. How possible, how likely that is, very low. But we'll see. A man can dream. But then there's also the options when it comes to other players. We talked about Florenzi and things like that. They're talking about, possible deals. If they're going to bring Florenzi in, if that was even a possibility, then they can work it in. To me, where I guess they're not that serious about Florenzi if that's the situation going on there. Okay, and then we going on to Ramsey update. Romeo Guesti. A lot of these are Romeo Guesti. He was giving out all this information. Who is he's the top source when it comes to Juventus. So I always love to hear him talk. He's saying that Juventus want to sell Ramsey, but it is difficult. He earns over 7 million euros and has 2 years left on his contract. So not exactly what you want to be hearing. Nothing to excite you there. Unfortunately, more negative news because we need to get him off our books. We need it's over at Juventus. It's time for him to go. I think he knows that as well. So hopefully they can work out some kind of deal where he will be headed on his way here soon. And then we got a goalkeeper update for you guys. Sky Italia is saying that Salvatore Sigelu is planning to terminate his contract with Torino, and Juventus would be interested in signing him if Petting should put his foot down and decide not to stay. Which everything I'm hearing and everything that we're reporting seems to say that Petting really wants to leave. He wants to be the first team goalkeeper. He doesn't want to play backup role. He doesn't want to do that. So right now, if that's what he wants, let him have his way. I'd be more than happy to have Sirigu as the backup keeper. To me, it's between those two. I'll go ahead and do this. Like today, we had an update, or not an update, but we had a report by La Stampa saying that the 36-year-old Flamengo goalkeeper, Diego Alves, who has an Italian passport, is one of Juventus's list to be the second goalkeeper. He's on the list, but to me, I think if you have the option, you get Sirigu. I think he's a solid goalkeeper, or you keep putting, either one of those two will be a great second keeper. So let me know your thoughts on the situation. To me, if Petting really wants to be sold or whatever, move along, I think that's fine. I think go ahead and move it along and just bring Sirigu in. I'm more than happy to have him. All right, and then we have a bit of a, not I wouldn't say shocking, but like, I don't want to say unfortunate either because I understand what the way he's going with this role. But Bazzagli is not returning. Sorry, it's on the second of my throat, dude. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that he is not returning to Juve. He has decided to take another route, and that is of a commentator. So I can definitely understand. You see Del Piero. Well, maybe you don't, but if you're here in America, you're watching ESPN. I'm sure there's ESPN everywhere. But Del Piero has been on there reporting with ESPN FC, covering all the the Euro and all that stuff going on. So I'm sure he sees, hey, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can be one of those guys, be another face. And do commentating and do all this. And, I can't blame him. Sometimes that's not that that's more of an enjoyable role. Yes, it's an enjoyable role to be able to coach and work for Juventus and all that. But sometimes it's a little bit of an easier life. You know what I mean? Go show up to a game, enjoy it, sit back, watch a game, and then commentate, especially when you have that knowledge. It's a bit, you lose less hair, is what I would say. So I can't blame him for doing that. Anyway, going forward, we'll see who they replace in that role instead of Barzani. And then we've got Super League talk. We've got Confinego is reporting that the Madrid tribunal has ordered UEFA to stop the disciplinary proceedings against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. In addition, they call for the annulment of the agreement between UEFA and the 9 other clubs. I'm not, again, I know we're probably all getting really tired of hearing about the ongoing things. It's your eyes just kind of glaze over when Super League pops up. But it's interesting to see where this can go, where it appears, Barcelona and all this. Right now, it seems to be there, and Juventus and Real Madrid are safely in a legal right with what they're doing, with the whole situation that's going on with the Super League. And it seems that maybe they can try to get the other 9 clubs out of it to see if they can come back and I guess they say they never left, but actually come back, in the stance and actually get the Super League off the ground. We'll see what happens going forward from there. I'm sure it won't be a quick resolution with that. Then a couple more news updates. I think we talked about the Caore information. Then we just got one more then, and it's one again. Not that I hate to do this, but it's one that it's not super exciting for us as fans to hear, but it's the truth. Corriere dello Sport is saying that Rugani could stay for next season should Dybala leave. So we kind of know too that finding a landing spot for him isn't super easy, but we've been able to do it the last season. So maybe something could happen again, but if Dybala leaves and you don't bring another defender in, say Milinkovic or whoever it is like that, Rugani could still have a spot with Juventus. like I said, I mean, all I can tell you is it pains me to think about, like I said, the season before last, and how terrible he was out there. Was not enjoyable. It was not enjoyable to watch. So that's what it is. It is what it is. We'll see what we have going forward. And then lastly, the main thing I really want to talk about, or that I want to hit on, is just how exciting that Italy-Belgium match was yesterday, and how much fun it was to just see this team and to see what I'm telling you right now. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to overinflate what it is, especially when we've seen the low that we had in 2018 of missing the World Cup and all that. But I'm getting rejuvenated 2006 vibes from this team. I know. Wait, what am I saying? I literally just said I don't want to overplay it, and then I overplayed it. But I'm getting these vibes from this team, and the people. And one thing I don't want to hear anymore is I don't want to hear the disparaging remarks for Chiellini and Bonucci as much anymore. I understand that Bonucci, his ass guarding or his ass defense isn't good. That needs to go. But some of his long balls and stuff that he delivers are so well placed and so perfect. And you could see what he helped create yesterday on the field there. And then Chiellini, to me, there is no better defender in the entire world. Especially, there's no better center back in the world than Chiellini. When he's healthy and when he's on his game, he is perfection. So that's all I want to say. I was so excited watching the team. And then, even Insigne, who was, you gotta give a Napoli player credit. Don't love Napoli, but Insigne, that dart from deep was beautiful. I don't know that I've been more excited for anything. And maybe you gotta give credit to Barella. That was a beautiful, beautiful play that he did to come back with that, especially after the play broken down with. And then I'll say this: the one person who I hate it because I actually like Immobile. I really liked him. I really wish Juventus would have had him. Even last year, I was really high on him. But man, does not perform internationally. He just can't do it. I don't know what it is. He doesn't have it in him. Green to whatever you want to call it. But it's unfortunate because I actually liked Immobile a lot. But he was the only true. Well, maybe Di Florenzi or Di Lorenzo. Who was it? Who was the other defender yesterday? Anyway, yeah, obviously giving up that PK was terrible. But he just, the play of Immobile yesterday was it was embarrassing. And it was so unfortunate to watch because the rest of this team was just clicking so well. And you can see that chemistry. And you can see that bond. And you can see they're on the same page. And then you got Immobile doing whatever he's doing out there. So anyway, it's just exciting. I just take this time, really, I needed this right now. I've been struggling with certain things in life, different things come up. So it's just nice to have this respite, this reprieve to, sit down, watch Italy, watch the Italian national team play, and have that joy and that happiness and that, it's just that excitement that I haven't had recently watching the club. Yes, they've been good, but having what I felt in 2006. And so I'm just excited. I hope you are too. Excited to see where this goes. Excited to see, hopefully, I'm not saying they should be the favorites right now to win it, but you took out the big dog. Now you got Spain and potentially England. I think we can get this done. I think we can bring it home. So I'm just excited. I hope you're enjoying it with me. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on all that. But that's all I have for you today. Check in with us tomorrow. We'll get you the latest roundup covering all things Juventus. I promise I'll be back tomorrow. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel as it really helps us as we're growing and we're growing channel. We're going to bring you more content. We're about to do lives. Those are about to launch shortly now that the Mercato's live. I'm excited about what we can do there. We were testing that recently. It's going to be a fun time. I hope you join us. There's some things I want to do with that, like we do with the radio show or something like that. I want to do it with that. I want to have fun with it. I don't want to just give you boring news. I want to have fun with what we're doing. So hopefully that'll work out going in the future. But also, again, make sure you hit that bell icon to stay notified and get the latest news as soon as it's hot and fresh right out there, because before you know it, something else will happen. Follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri, and Forza Azzurri.